So hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So after completing the mat.lib library, now we'll be starting to learn about what is Scikit-learn library in machine learning. So Scikit-learn or Sklearn is one of the most popular Python libraries for machine learning. It provides simple and efficient tools to build and train, test and evaluate machine learning models without implementing algorithms from scratch. So it is basically built on top of NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib and SciPy. So next is why is Scikit-learn used? So basically it helps us with build ML models quickly. It is not like that without Scikit-learn we cannot build machine learning models, but with the help of it we can build them quickly. Preprocesses data. Next is split dataset. Don't worry, I will be explaining each of this in detail also. Train algorithms. Evaluate model performance. Tune model parameters. And save trained models. So without Scikit-learn, you would have to implement algorithms like linear regression, decision trees, Sklearn manually. So first come to installation, how it is installed. If you have like watching my videos, you must have known, but never mind, I will also explain it. So what we do to install? We write pip install Scikit-learn. Import it as import Sklearn. Or for importing specific modules, we write from sklearn dot model underscore selection import test train split train test split. Another is from sklearn dot linear model import linear regression. There is no space between them, okay? So this is the import, how we import Sklearn library. Now I will tell you the workflow. See, I would be covering all the basic things which come in this library. I won't go much into advanced because we are into initial phase of learning. So now the workflow. First, we have our data set. Next, we load the data set. Next, we do pre-processing. Next, what we do? We do the train, test, split. Next, we choose the algorithm. Next, we train the model. Next, we do the predictions. And then we evaluate. So this is the workflow. Now we will be talking about around 8 modules of Scikit-learn. First one is dataset. So it is basically used to load built-in datasets. Example, from sklearn.datasets import load underscore iris, and iris is equal to load underscore iris bracket close. So like it contains the dataset like iris dataset, wine dataset, breast cancer dataset, digits dataset. So these are basically the built-in dataset which Sklearn contains. Next, we will be talking about model selection. Use for splitting data. You must have seen in many machine learning model we write this line. From Sklearn dot model selection, model underscore selection, import train test split. So this is basically a function of Sklearn library. So why do we use and we write the code after it also, like the x train comma x test comma y train comma y test is equal to train cross split x comma y comma test size is equal to 0.2 and random state is equal to 42. Now the question is arising why we use test train split. So it divides our data into two parts, 80% for training and 20% for testing, so the model can be tested on unseen data. To understand it more, you can just watch my ML projects which I have made. I won't be covering that the code part over here. Just I am giving you the introduction of the library. Pre-processing. Used to prepare data. Sometimes we write from sklearn.preprocessing import standard scalar. And we do scaling. So like what happens, scalar is equal to standard scalar and x train is equal to something and x test is equal to something. So there also we are using sklearn. Next, very important and which is the heart of the this library is ML algorithms. Used for predicting continuous values. In regression, it is used for predicting continuous values. And which projects basically we use on house price prediction, car price, salary prediction. In regression, in clustering also, classification also we use this in the projects like iris flower, employee attrition. I will be explaining where we have used it in later part of this video. spam detection, diabetes prediction. In clustering also we use it in some of the projects like the customer segmentation and product recommendation. Okay, now comes the fifth one, model evaluation. Now comes our next, which is model evaluation. Evaluates how well the model performs. Okay, and now sixth one is hyperparameter tuning. You can see in how many ways Scikit-learn we were using in our project, but before this we weren't knowing that. Parameter tuning improves model performance. I would write it here. Improves model performance. Next is cross validation. So what happens is, instead of one train test bed, the model is trained and tested multiple times, giving a more reliable estimate of performance. So here also Scikit-learn is used, and last but not the least is saving models. Uh, so in that also Scikit-learn is used. Now I will tell you, in my project in Iris Flower car price prediction, where Scikit-learn was used. So first for Iris Flower. First, it was used in loading and preparing the dataset. Load and preparing the dataset. Second, split the dataset using chain test split. Next, train a k nearest classifier. Predict flower species. Evaluate using accuracy score, confusion matrix, and classification report. So in all these areas are in Iris Flower, Sklearn was used. Second, in car price. So it was used to split the dataset again. Next, train a regression model. Next, predict car prices. Next, measure performance using R square and mean squared error. In employee attrition prediction, employee attrition prediction. Prediction. It was used to encode categorical features. Categorical features. Next was split the data. Next was train a logistic regression classifier. Predict employee attrition. So now we will come to advantages and limitations of this library. First one is easy to learn and use. Next is large collection of machine learning algorithms. Next one is consistent API across models. Next is excellent documentation. Fast and optimized for many classical machine learning tasks. And last, works well with NumPy and Pandas. There are some of its limitations also. Let's talk about that. So basically, it is not designed for deep learning. We are using it in machine learning, but we will not be using it in deep learning. Next is limited support for GPU acceleration. So in a single line, like if I have to explain you what Scikit-learn is, so we can say that think of Scikit-learn as the toolkit that powers the entire classical machine learning workflow. While Pandas is mainly used to load and manipulate data and NumPy handles numerical arrays and computations, Scikit-learn provides the algorithms and utilizes to pre-process data, train models, make predictions and evaluate their performance. This is why it is one of the first library ever every machine learning practitioner learns. So this was all about Scikit-learn library, guys, and you have learned like what is Scikit-learn library, and you have seen practically that where in my project I have used this library so that you can get a better overview of this library. So thank you everyone.